You guys know I'm a Timberwolves fan, and guess what the report that is here we're hearing today? And it's pretty shocking. League executives believe the Timberwolves will trade Karl-Anthony Towns. And I've said this myself as a Timberwolves fan. Even though if I had to choose trading either Rudy Gobert or Karl-Anthony Towns, I would trade Rudy Gobert because even as a Timberwolves fan, I'm more of a fan of Cat than I am of Rudy. But I'm fully aware that we have to double down and fully commit to building around Anthony Edwards and his co-partner, which would be Rudy Gobert. So what that means is the only player we can trade to recoup the assets that we lost in the Rudy Gobert trade / build up our depth and get more players and free up cap space is Karl-Anthony Towns, sadly. And Eric Pincus of Bleacher Report writes, teams won't be able to afford the combination of both Karl-Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert. That's what he's writing. And dealing Gobert is something that nobody is going to give him the value or even really want to take Gobert. So a lot of executives around the league tell Eric Pincus that they believe Karl-Anthony Towns will be long gone before the start of next season. They think that he could even be traded this year. A lot of people think he'll be traded by the deadline and that they would try to give him half a season of working it out. But there's belief that before 2024-25 season, Karl-Anthony Towns will not be on the team because the Timberwolves will not be able to afford paying both Gobert and Towns $90 million combined next year while also having to pay Anthony Edwards. It's just not going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. And for me, because the thing is, we're going into year 4 of Anthony Edwards, so next year he's going to be on the extension. So that's going to be like $130 million, $140 million committed to 3 guys. So who can we trade Karl-Anthony Towns for? I mean, Anthony Simons and the 3rd pick wouldn't be that bad because then we could trade the 3rd pick or draft, whoever's available, or trade the 3rd pick for more assets and then rebuild from there, and we free up a bunch of cap space. I think Anthony Simons and the 3rd pick straight up for Karl-Anthony Towns, maybe have them throw us Nurkic and we trade Nurkic somewhere else. Nurkic is only 28. So there's a deal right there. I mean, we could also see if the Toronto Raptors, I know they're trying to re-sign Pirtle, but you tell them, hey, send us, OG and maybe 1 or 2 other guys, and we'd be cool with that. And some picks, okay? But I think you got to call up teams that don't have a starting center, that need like a top 15 center, which Karl-Anthony Towns is a top 15, at the very least I think a top 10, very least a top 15. I think probably top 10 if we have to be quite honest. And for me, I think he's just an enjoyable guy to watch, a guy who can make plays. And for me, I think it's definitely going to be interesting seeing how we'll be able to go ahead and make moves to maximize the roster around Anthony Edwards, okay? It's just in theory, Rudy Gobert. I mean, I think Karl-Anthony Towns is better for Anthony Edwards, but we just have to make this roster work, and that's all that matters for us. So for me, I think it'll be definitely interesting to see how it all plays out because I want to see the Timberwolves be good. Before we traded for Rudy Gobert, I had hope that we were turning the franchise around, and I still have hope in Tim Conley. Okay, I don't think Tim Conley's a bad exec whatsoever. I just think we need to regroup, recalibrate, and figure out the right moves that need to be made so that this roster can go ahead and compete for a championship with Anthony Edwards as the superstar player.